Is morality possible without religion? Or does faith remain the backbone of ethical living? In today's America, where church attendance is falling but questions of right and wrong remain urgent, this debate has never been more relevant. This video explores science, psychology, and real-world examples to uncover whether humans can truly build morality without divine authority. Welcome to Axis of Curiosity, where we dive into life's biggest questions and challenge the ideas we often take for granted. Today, we're exploring a question at the heart of modern society: is morality possible without religion? Together, we'll uncover insights from psychology, philosophy, and real-world examples that shape how we understand right and wrong. If you enjoy thought-provoking content like this, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel for more explorations that spark reflection and curiosity. For centuries, American society has often assumed that morality and religion are inseparable, with churches framing ethical codes as divine commands. Many parents raise their children to believe that values such as honesty, kindness, and respect for others came directly from Scripture, and without religion, moral order would collapse. Psychologists, however, have long noted that humans possess an innate sense of empathy and fairness, suggesting that moral instincts may predate organized religion. Still, religion provided a collective narrative that reinforced these instincts through rituals, teachings, and community expectations. In small towns across the United States, church attendance once served as both a spiritual commitment and a public sign of one's moral character. Even today, political debates frequently reflect the idea that faith guarantees virtue, while the decline of religious authority raises questions about whether ethics can stand independently. Modern thinkers argue that morality can be grounded in human well-being and rational cooperation, yet the traditional American mindset continues to wrestle with the deep-rooted belief that morality loses strength without religion's guiding hand. In recent decades, surveys have shown a steady rise in Americans who identify as religiously unaffiliated, often called the nones. Younger generations, in particular, are drifting away from organized religion, citing hypocrisy, politicization of faith, or simply finding spirituality outside traditional institutions. Sociologists point out that this trend reflects broader cultural shifts toward individualism and skepticism of authority. Psychologists like Jean Twenge link it to generational changes where meaning and morality are sought through personal experience rather than inherited belief systems. The decline is visible in empty pews, fewer church weddings, and a cultural landscape where Sunday morning is more likely spent at a cafe or gym than in a sanctuary. Yet this decline does not necessarily mean a rejection of morality. Instead, many Americans are reimagining ethical frameworks through secular philosophies, community service, and values of inclusivity and diversity. The transformation suggests that while institutional religion may be weakening, the human search for meaning and moral grounding continues in new, evolving forms. Secular moral philosophies and humanism have increasingly become alternatives for those seeking ethical guidance without religious doctrine. Humanism, in particular, emphasizes the inherent worth and dignity of every person, grounding morality in human flourishing rather than divine command. Thinkers like Carl Rogers argued that empathy and self-actualization provide natural pathways to ethical living, while philosophers such as John Stuart Mill highlighted the importance of minimizing harm and maximizing well-being. In American society, these ideas manifest in movements for social justice, equality, and human rights, where moral arguments are framed not in terms of scripture, but in terms of fairness and compassion. Schools, workplaces, and even government institutions often draw on secular principles, like mutual respect and civic responsibility to foster community cohesion. Critics sometimes claim that without God, morality becomes relative, but humanist perspectives counter that shared human needs safety, dignity, and freedom offer a stable foundation. This shift shows how morality, when rooted in reason and empathy, can thrive even in the absence of advances in science and psychology have given Americans new ways to think about morality beyond religious boundaries. Neuroscientists have shown that empathy is wired into the human brain, with mirror neurons allowing us to feel the pain and joy of others, suggesting that compassion is not just a virtue but a biological capacity. Psychologists like Lawrence Kohlberg outline stages of moral development showing how individuals progress from obedience to authority toward principles of justice and equality. This scientific framing resonates with a culture that values evidence and progress, offering morality as a natural extension of human evolution rather than divine decree. In daily life, empathy-driven approaches are evident in movements advocating mental health awareness, restorative justice, and anti-bullying campaigns, where the goal is to reduce suffering and build healthier communities, rather than relying on fear of punishment. Science and psychology point to cooperation, empathy, and well-being as the anchors of ethical living, aligning morality with both human nature and modern societal needs. For many Americans, the traditional idea of morality was tied to heaven and hell, where good deeds were rewarded and sins punished by God. Yet, as religious affiliation declines, the question arises, can morality endure without the fear of divine judgment? Psychologists argue that people often act ethically because of internal motivations such as empathy, guilt, or the desire for social harmony, rather than fear of punishment. Studies in moral psychology reveal that even young children, before formal religious teaching, display fairness and compassion, suggesting morality is deeply rooted in human nature. In society, laws and social norms also serve as deterrents, reinforcing accountability without appealing to the supernatural. Communities built on trust, cooperation, and shared responsibility show that moral behavior thrives when people see themselves as part of a larger whole. While some still believe religion provides the strongest incentive to stay virtuous, growing evidence indicates that morality can stand on its own, grounded in conscience, empathy, and the practical needs of human coexistence. Across the globe, there are living examples that challenge the assumption that morality cannot exist without religion. Countries like Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands consistently rank among the highest in measures of happiness, equality, and social trust, despite having some of the lowest levels of religious belief. Sociologists point out that these societies rely on strong social contracts, universal healthcare, and education systems that foster empathy and fairness, creating environments where ethical behavior is encouraged through communal responsibility rather than divine command. In the United States, ethical societies and secular humanist communities provide spaces where values such as honesty, compassion, and justice are nurtured without reference to scripture. These groups engage in volunteer work, charity, and activism, demonstrating that moral action arises from shared humanity. Critics may argue that such systems borrow from religious traditions, but the evidence suggests that stable, cooperative societies can thrive when morality is built on empathy, equality, and rational concern for human well-being. As America moves further into an era where religious affiliation continues to decline, the future of morality is likely to be shaped by new cultural narratives, secular ethics, and shared human values. Younger generations are increasingly guided by principles of inclusivity, social justice, and environmental responsibility rather than traditional doctrines. This shift suggests that moral frameworks will evolve to emphasize empathy, cooperation, and global citizenship, while still grappling with timeless questions of right and wrong. Whether grounded in religion or not, morality remains a deeply human endeavor, our attempt to live with integrity and to create a society where dignity and fairness are possible for all. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it sparked reflection and curiosity. If you found value in this discussion, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking explorations of life, society, and the human spirit, religion, and the practical needs of human coexistence.